CoolersOnSale.com here for a review of the OtterBox Trooper 30. Many of you guys at home wanted to see this cooler, so we finally got it, and we just finished the ice retention test. I'll link to that in the description below. But the OtterBox Trooper 30 in our test went about a day and a half, which is half of what OtterBox advertises, which is 3+ days of ice retention. But the big takeaway from that is we only put 10 pounds of ice in that, which filled this thing up maybe 15% of the way. So definitely room for more ice in there, and I 100% see that 3 days of ice retention is possible if you fill the cooler up more than 10 pounds of ice. I would say at least 50% of the way you can get 3 days of ice retention. If you fill it all the way up, you probably get a little bit more. This is on par with the Yeti Hopper, the Grizzly Drifter, the Torrid, many other soft-sided coolers. I'll link to that video in the description below as well. So on par with all those other soft-sided coolers that we've tested in the past. Also, the weather was a lot more extreme in this challenge versus the other ones. Right now we are reading 90, almost 94 degrees on the surface of this cooler, so relatively impressive. This is one of the more pricey soft-sided coolers, but it is offering multiple carry styles. You can carry this over your shoulder. It also has the backpack straps on the back, so if you want to use this as a backpack. And it's also, in my opinion, one of the more robust coolers that we've reviewed for a soft-sided cooler. So let me show you up close how this thing opens, because this is the most unique thing I've ever seen in terms of a soft-sided cooler. It's what I would call a clamshell, and so it snaps this way, and then you come over that latch and it opens up. So I like this a heck of a lot better than something like the Yeti Hopper, where it's a zipper and it's just hard to get in. This thing opens up and you can get all the way into that cooler. And as you can see, the 10 pounds of ice filled this up maybe 10% of the way. This is the fill line, as you can see on the inside, the fill line of ice where you should put ice. So if you go that high, I would definitely say you can get the 3+ days of ice retention. On the front, you are given a water resistant pocket, so not waterproof, but water resistant pocket for external storage. You have multiple areas on the front for accessories. This is where your bottle cap opener would go. So overall, really impressed with the design of it. It is like almost what I would consider a waterproof material, like a waterproof bag that you would have, same type of material. One of the biggest things that I've had an issue with in this cooler is the one-handed closing, and it's just something that you got to get used to. It's completely different than any other cooler that we've reviewed, and they advertise the one-handed opening and closing. So I want to show you guys that you have to get this latch over the top on this side in order for that to snug, and then you can close it. So like you can see, it's just something to get used to. When we were filling this up with ice at the marina, and I was struggling with it at first, but now I understand how it works, and definitely one-handed opening, assuming that you understand how the cooler functions. So something completely different than any other soft-sided that we reviewed. Another big one that people ask is the cooler watertight. Can we have some water intrusion if we have this on a boat? If it flips over in the back of an SUV or in the back of a car, are we going to have an issue with leaking water? And as you guys just saw, we have the water in there from the ice retention test, and if I flip this upside down, it is in fact watertight. So no water comes out of that. You can shake it, you can move it around, and no water is coming in or out from the main seal. So keep that in mind if you're looking for a waterproof cooler, that this one definitely does it. One thing I will, one caveat to that I will mention, we left this out during the test and it did rain, and we had some water build up here in the side of the cooler. And when you open this up, if you don't get rid of that water before you open this up, guess what happens? It all goes pouring in or comes pouring out. So keep that in mind if you leave this out in the rain, or you're on a boating trip or rafting trip or whatever, and you get some water in there. Just one of those things to keep in mind. It's not a big deal, just make sure you get rid of it. But in fact, a watertight seal, which is one of the first that I've seen in a soft-sided cooler. So really impressed with that. I'm gonna have a full write-up of this on CoolersOnSale.com, as well as the results from the ice retention test that we just wrapped up. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for your suggestion. You guys are the ones that recommended that we test this. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe. It's what helps us to keep going. We'll be back next time for more video reviews.